friends, coming to you from the studio today. Thanks for joining me on this new video series on probation in a criminal court setting. It's also known as community supervision. Before we dive into this little video series, I wanted to, as I have for the last several months now, acknowledge the things that are facing our country right now. The financial crisis created by the coronavirus pandemic. We are hoping and praying that our friends, neighbors, colleagues, countrymen can get back to work and start providing for their families. In addition to that, we are all reeling from the tragic death of Mr. Floyd and how we're going to come together as a nation to live up to the rhetoric of our revolution in that, we are all created equal under God. And I'm reminded often of the motto of our great nation, which is, out of many, we are one. So I want to talk a little bit about community supervision in the context of a criminal case. What it means for a client who is going to go through and resolve a criminal case by accepting probation as a condition. So not every criminal client, not every client charged with an offense is eligible for probation. And if a client is, the probation conditions are going to be largely up to the adult probation department or the community supervision department in the county where the offense occurred. So there's some area for negotiations, but pretty much those conditions are what they are. And basically what that means for a client is the fine is going to be of a certain amount. Probation fees you have to pay for your liberty, which means you need to pay money to the county every month to monitor you. And the idea behind that is the taxpayers of your county should not be required to bear the entire burden of the cost of monitoring you because you got in trouble. So you've got to pay a monitoring fee. And if your probation conditions require ankle monitoring, which, house arrest types deal, or an ankle monitor that monitors drugs and alcohol in your body, or deep lung device that monitors the amount of alcohol on your breath while you're driving, those are all conditions that you could be dealing with on top of the monthly probation fee. However, you are essentially free. You are not restrained of your liberty. You're not in jail. You're not wearing the kung fu pajamas, and you're allowed to move about the country. You may have to report to your probation officer from time to time, but in most respects, you are enjoying free air, going to work, seeing your family at night, not sleeping on a steel cot, and eating out of a plastic tray in a day room, and assigned various tasks from, certain parts of the day. If you're lucky enough to be in a facility that's big enough to require work of any kind. So, and if you're not, then they call it sitting in stir for a reason. So you just be sitting in the county jail or worse, in prison, doing a whole bunch of nothing. Maybe the library book will come by today, maybe it won't. So probation is an option for people who want to stay out of the orange pajamas, for people who want to work hard on getting their life together. And it can be a harsh lesson. It's not meant to be an easy lesson, but it's a path to getting your life back together. And there's, some notion that there's no rehabilitation angle to the probation. And that's true. Once you're over the age of 16 and you're no longer a minor, the Texas Department of Criminal Justice and the Texas legislature don't have any concept of rehabilitation really in those programs. Those programs are about retribution and discipline, and they're about punishment. and changing someone's behavior by putting them in timeout for sometimes a long time. So, you know, probation can be onerous. It's meant to be onerous, and it can be challenging, but it's also a path to freedom, and you are free for the most part while you are on community supervision. So I'm going to talk a little bit more about it in the next video series, but like I said, not every person charged with a crime is eligible for probation, but I want to explain a little bit about what it looks like and works like. I hope none of you are ever in a situation where you have to answer these questions or be asking these questions on behalf of a loved one or yourself or you know, a cousin or what have you. But these things come up, unfortunately, more often than not. And again, the whole point of this video series is to be educational and insightful and hopefully uplifting. Please like, subscribe, and share. Leave me a question or comment. I'll get back to it in a subsequent video series or a reply back to you or both. Thanks again for watching. God bless America.